Now we definitely want to have those hips working correctly in the backswing and the downswing. We know that if we can get these hips to rotate freely, to really get in that great pro style hip rotation on the backswing and downswing, it's going to make things so much easier. But how do we actually do that? And that's what I'm going to talk about in this video. We're going to get into the nuts and bolts on how to actually move those hips and get those working great in your golf swing. Let's go ahead and get started. All right, so how do we get the hips moving? There's three moves that we're going to focus on in this video that are really going to help. Number one, we have to straighten and bend the legs in a certain way to get the hips to rotate. So as I set up here to dress, you'll notice that my knees have a slight flex in them. So if I go from the top of my hips here, if I look at my femur down to my knee and then down to my ankle, that has a flex in it. If I keep that flex the same, it's pretty tough to rotate my hips. There's going to have to be a little bit of a straightening of the right leg here. Not much, and that doesn't mean that I'm going to slide my legs and sway and do all kinds of things where I'm moving back and forth laterally. But I am going to have a little bit of a straightening in my right leg in the backswing. As I'm completing my backswing, I'm going to have a little bend, and then I'm going to have a straightening in my left leg. So let's go over that a little bit more in detail here. Let's go ahead and set up, and what I want you to do is just grab a club and put it across your hips. As you go into the backswing, I want to feel like you're pushing a little bit to straighten that right leg. You'll notice how this part goes up and back, and that rotates my hip in the backswing. As I do that, my left leg is coming forward slightly. Now in the downswing, I'm going to get a little bit of flex to get my knees wide and apart, and then I'm going to do the opposite. So my left leg is going to straighten as my right leg comes forward. So if I'm going toward the camera here, this will be my backswing, right leg straightens as my left leg bends. Start of the downswing, my legs separate and they both bend. And then as I come on through, now my left leg straightens. This would kind of be when I'm releasing the club, what we call our straight line release in the Top Speed Golf system. That allows my left hip to come on around when I straighten this left leg up and the right knee comes forward. And as I go to the full finish, now I'm just coming all the way on around to where my belt buckle is facing the target. The momentum is going to carry me that way. And again, my left leg is nice and straight. So do a good 15 to 20 reps. I recommend putting the club on the ground, just grabbing with your shoulders. And I want you to focus on right leg straightening in the backswing, knees bending it to start the downswing, and then left leg straightening as you come to that good full finish. Again, we're going to go right leg straight, knees bent, left leg straight coming on through. Do a good 15 to 20 reps of that to really feel that motion as you're coming on around. That's going to help you to get the overall flow of what's happening. Once you've done that 15 to 20 reps, now take out the pausing. You just want to make that one fluid motion. So you kind of feel like there's a little bit of a down and then up as I'm swinging back and through. I'm loading into the ground and then coming up. So go back, loading, and then coming up there. So there's that kind of pivot action, right leg, left leg, right leg, left leg, as you're going back and through to really allow you to rotate. Knock out a good 15 or 20 of those without any pausing. Then go ahead and hit a few shots. If you go to the driving range, put that together with a golf ball to get those hips to pivot back and through. Okay, so piece number two, we're just going to take it one step higher than that. We're going to go from the legs up to the hips. That's the part that we actually want to have rotate. Now, when that right leg straightens, if I put this club across my belt again, when that right leg straightens, you'll notice how in the backswing, my right hip gets a little higher than my left hip. Then as I start in the downswing, those are going to level out. So again, my knees bend, my knees are nice and wide here. I'm athletic, almost like I'm a shortstop playing in the baseball. And my hips are level. And then as I come on through, now my left hip is going to be higher than my right hip as we're looking from this down the line angle. Let me go ahead and turn toward the camera so you can see this a little bit better. Here's the backswing. Now my hips are tilted, my right hip is higher. There's my start of my downswing, legs apart, hips level. And as I come on through, left leg straightens, that pushes my left hip higher as I'm coming on through there. So you can imagine, that sounds complicated. That's one of the most simple things that can happen. I'm just having my hips kind of tilted forward and they're rotating in an arc or a plane. Kind of imagine a plane of glass here. They're rotating around those back and through. That's what's going to build a lot of consistency there. So again, let's do 15 or 20 reps, going pausing, right hip higher, hip square, left hip higher as you're coming on through to the finish. You can let the arms come on around. Once you've done a few of those, grab a club, do the exact same thing. Right hip, sink into the ground, left hip high. So we're going right hip high, sink into the ground, left hip high, and when you have that club, just make it all one fluid motion as you're coming on through there. Once you're comfortable with that, that's going to give you a lot of, again, it's going to feel like there's some kind of momentum to the swing, like it's a little bit effortless as those hips go back and through, and it's going to allow you to be nice and solid as you're hitting these golf shots.